I'd like to call the September council meeting for the City of Sugar Hill to order. I am not the mayor. I am the mayor pro tem, and I'm sitting in for the mayor who is out of town on business today. So I'm going to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, have everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, remain standing for the invocation, and we will have a moment of silence for Patriots' Day. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So for those of you who are aware, today is Patriots' Day, so I'd like to take a minute for a moment of silence. So please bow your heads. Eternal God, source and creator of life, from the depths we have called to you, and we call to you again for courage, strength, and wisdom on this anniversary of our nation's tragedy. Grant us courage to confront our enemies and naysayers. Comfort those who stand alone without spouse, parent, brother, sister, friend, or community. Open our hearts to them and to the children orphaned 22 years ago today. Enable us to love more deeply all children who suffer. Accept with mercy our prayers of healing on behalf of the families of the victims and on behalf of the first and second responders who became ill at Ground Zero. Despite the horror and tragedy of 9/11, our country remains a shelter of peace, a symbol of freedom, a beacon light of compassion and justice to the downtrodden and oppressed of the world. Strengthen the hands of our people to defend this country and our common values of freedom and justice. Inspire our leaders and diplomats to act wisely and to pursue peace everywhere in the world. May we teach our children to learn and to think, to consider and to reason, to be courageous in thought and in deed, and nurture hearts of wisdom that they may do battle against fear, hatred, and bigotry using weapons of the Spirit and loving hearts. We offer our prayers on behalf of our country and government, our elected and appointed leaders, our officials and institutions, our soldiers, citizens, and residents, upon all who faithfully toil for the good of our country, to preserve democracy in our land, to what is right and just, to advocate for civility between adversaries, and to treat every human being as infinitely worthy and dignified by virtue of being created by B'Tselem Elohim in the divine image. Bestow upon us all the blessings of peace, and may we live to see the day when swords will be converted into plowshares and nations will not learn war anymore. Give us the strength, fortitude, and spirit to rise above pettiness and falsehoods, half-truths, conspiracies, and lies, to govern for the greater good and continue honoring and doing what is right and just. Amen. You may be seated. Okay. We'll start off with approval of the agenda. Is there any discussion on the agenda? If not, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda.
We have a motion from Mr. Anderson.
Second.
Second from Ms. Thatcher. All in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous. Okay, now we've got approval of the minutes for the council meeting of August 14th and executive session, work session minutes from August 7th, 2023 and executive session, special called meeting August 7th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m., and special called meeting for August 7th, 2023 at 6:45 p.m. Do I hear any discussion? No discussion? Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion from Ms. Thatcher,
Second.
Second from Mr. Hicks. All in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous, motion passes. All right, we've got some awards, presentations, and proclamations. The first one I am going to read is a proclamation for National Assisted Living Week, and this is something that we do on behalf of our partners at the Benton House. This was presented to the residents of the Benton House by Mayor Hembry earlier this week. This is Proclamation for National Assisted Living Week, September 10th to 16th, 2023. Whereas residents of assisted living communities are active members of the larger community, offering their knowledge, life experiences, and involvement, their past contributions continue to be a vital part of Sugar Hill's rich history, and their ongoing participation deepens our community's identity. Whereas assisted living is a critical long-term care option for older adults and individuals with disabilities that foster choice, dignity, and independence. Assisted living communities are committed to excellence, innovation, and the advancement of person-centered care. Whereas in 1995, the National Center for Assisted Living established National Assisted Living Week to honor the contributions of assisted living communities in providing long-term care to America's seniors and individuals with disabilities. Whereas this year's theme of National Assisted Living Week is Season of Reflection, highlights the incredible care provided by essential caregivers and the special bonds created in assisted living facilities across the country. Whereas during this special week, assisted living communities across the country are encouraged to organize activities and events which celebrate the dedication of staff, the individuality of residents, and the deep connections formed in these meetings. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Brandon Hembry, do hereby proclaim the week of September 10th through 6th, 2023 as Assisted Living Week in Sugar Hill, Georgia. I urge all citizens to virtually visit or call a loved one, family member, or friend residing in any care setting and offer a kind word and spend time participating in various virtual activities to unite those from all walks of life in need of our continuing love and support, and to learn more about how assisted living services benefit our community. Thank you. All right, we've got a second proclamation today, proclamation for Constitution Week, or Constitution Day, and I'll turn that over to Councilmember Rozelle.
Thank you so much. It's good to see so many of you joining us tonight. I'm excited about this one. I think it's especially fitting on this somber day that we remember 9/11 and we hold dear our nation's most precious document, the Constitution. So I'm going to read through this, and this was brought to us by our good friends at the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Swanee chapter. They are a terrific partner to the city. They are extremely involved in our community, from everything from keeping our historic cemetery cleaned up, to the Wreaths Across America, to our annual Veterans Day and Memorial Day ceremonies. We're just very fortunate to have them as an integral part of our community, and we're thankful for their partnership. So I'm going to read this. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America, the guardian of our liberties, embodies the principles of limited government and a republic dedicated to the rule of law. And whereas it is a privilege and duty of the American people to commemorate the 235th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America with appropriate ceremonies and activities. And whereas our Constitution establishes 6 basic governing principles for society, these include popular sovereignty, the rule of law, federalism, judicial review, individual rights, and separation of powers through a system of checks and balances. And whereas the Constitution ensures the distribution of functions and responsibilities among 3 separate branches and a system of checks and balances to calibrate those powers, ultimately ensuring the protection of individual rights and liberties. And whereas the state of Georgia was the 4th state in the Union to ratify the Constitution, and Georgia delegates Abraham Baldwin and William Few signed the document on January 2nd, 1788, and whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. And whereas Constitution Week provides an opportunity for all citizens to learn of Georgia's historic role during our nation's founding. Now, therefore, the Mayor and City Council of the City of Sugar Hill do hereby proclaim September 17th through 23rd, 2023 as Constitution Week in Sugar Hill, Georgia, and urge all citizens to study the Constitution and reflect on being an American with all the rights and responsibilities which that involves. So proclaim this 11th day of September, 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rozelle. All right, next up, we've got the oath of office for our youth council. So, Mr. Hicks, would you like to talk a little bit about the youth council, and then we'll bring them up for swearing in.
Thanks, Mark. The Youth Council actually is something that's near and dear to me as I sit on on City Council. And I had the opportunity of speaking to someone today, and they said, hey, how is the City Council going for you right now? And again, there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, but as I mentioned, two of the things that actually is near and dear to me is our youth and our elderly. And me having the opportunity to work with our Youth Council is something that I think will be one of the highlights of my tenure sitting here on City Council. The City Council that we will swear in tonight will be 5 newly appointed youth from within our community, actually encompassing all of our local high schools, that of North Gwinnett as well as Lanier High School, but we do have Beaufort High School also represented on our Youth Council. It's amazing to see how our youth is so vibrant. They are really excited to learn. Them actually learning about our local government, them actually being inquisitive on things of how they can be a part of improving our community is something that I am so pleased to just kind of stand back and watch in all of their growth. So tonight I'm going to be really honored to be standing next to each of them as they get sworn in. But first, I would be remiss if I did not mention our staff, who is also really important in the part of that, and that is Chase Rehack and Victoria Richburg, who is not Victoria's over there. There's Victoria. Sorry. Chase and Victoria is a really important piece to holding all of this together. Again, they will speak more about it, and I'll let Riley get up, our mayor, get up and speak a little bit about our youth council as well, but I don't want to steal her thunder. But again, it is so important that we actually put everything into our youth, and that's something that our city actually is really standing behind, and I stand behind as well. So I'm excited for this opportunity for each of them. I'm really happy to see all of the family members here, and you should be really, really, really pleased with your kids. You all have done an amazing job. It was really exciting and really enlightening to sit in on the interviews and listen to them actually sit there so eloquently and speak on how they were going to be an impact to our city and to the Youth Council. So great job to the parents. You are doing an amazing job with your youth, and I am so pleased and honored that they will be our future. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hicks. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call each of you up. You'll line up over by this podium over here. Alvin and I will come down, and we'll swear y'all in. So, Dobromir Iliev, Noah Fox, Liron Yuyun, Marjorie Guerrero, Madison Gingras, who is our secretary, Skylar McLeod, Mayor Pro Tem, and Riley Christie, who's our youth mayor. And Chloe Moore, who I think we forgot last time, too. I go by the list. Have you guys all do? Stand up right back here. Up right around here. All right, so I'm going to administer the oath of office. Okay. State your name, state your name, not state your name. I state your name. I solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the State of Georgia.
Constitution of the State of Georgia.
Charter and ordinances of the City of Sugar Hill.
Charter and ordinances.
And that I will do the best of my ability.
I will do the best of my ability.
faithfully perform the duties as a member of the Youth Council of the City of Sugar Hill during my continuance therein. Congratulations. Welcome to the youth. Have the council come down. Our youth counterparts. Hold it to the side and get your copy. Whoever's going to be easiest. Next. You move back? Okay. We'll just keep moving back.
All right. Open your step back a little bit. Perfect. All right, you guys ready? Get two more. Perfect. Thank you. All right, so the Youth Council is a group that's very near and dear to my heart. This is my third year on the Youth Council. I have some returning members. It's also Skylar's third year on the Youth Council. And I can say that I've never had an experience quite like this. I've never been able to sit in the position of a city council member and be able to make decisions like that's my role. So it's been an excellent opportunity for me. I'm thrilled to be the mayor this year and implement committees within the Youth Council to try and get more done within our city and have everyone doing a specific role and actively working towards something. So far, as you know, we've already sworn in our group. They are incredible. We have 5 new members, and we've handpicked them because we thought that not only that did they fit very well with our group, but they're also very professional, very smart, very talented individuals. So I'm thrilled to, kick this year off. Our first meeting is on the 20th, and, we have an excellent group. I believe we're going to achieve great things this year, and, last year for me and Skylar and Madison, so we're going to go out with a bang. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
High hopes for you guys.
We saw it was on the agenda.
Yes.
I was just.
I got you. Yeah, just have them sit. I mean, you go. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Well, at least it's nice to know with these young people on the Youth Council, we have a lot to look forward to. These are our future, so we're putting a lot of faith in you guys, so please do your best. All right. Now let's go to reports. City Attorney, Mr. Hartley.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I have no report.
No report. And the council, Ms. Thatcher?
First up, the only thing, well, 2 things. First, I would like to, and we'll hear more about this in reports, but to give a great shout out for the Players Guild and a successful run of Steel Magnolias. It was a tremendous show. So many great compliments from the folks that came to see that show. So well done, so well done. So bravo to Ann and the group at the Sugar Hill Players Guild. And then just a quick reminder, on September the 28th, we have Sweet City Night that's sponsored by the Sugar Hill Area Women's Club. And at that event, you will get to hear about all of the different places where there are abilities for you to plug in to serve your community, whether it be through the Women's Club, through BWASH, through all of the other places, Arts Commission that we have where you can find a place to belong to make your city feel a little bit smaller and a little more homey. Also, we will have Mayor Hembry delivering our first State of the City address, which I am thrilled to see us doing. I know some of the other cities that are around us do that State of the City address, and so I am excited that we are joining that brigade to share with the community exactly what's going on with the city and how we are doing, since not everybody gets to come to city council meetings. So those are my remarks for the night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Cohen. Just a quick comment about our Riverlands Authority, which I serve as your liaison to. We have not met yet this month. We will meet Wednesday, where Mark Jernasian, who's one of our authority members, will be talking about the Chattahoochee Riverlands project that he and also our authority member, Steve Gressley, both served on. And it's basically the comprehensive plan for the Chattahoochee Riverlands, going from Lake Lanier and traveling south almost to Alabama. But obviously, we're going to be focused on our little neck of the woods up here. And so he'll be presenting on Wednesday. Of course, that meeting is open to the public. It will be at 5:30 in our community room. And we welcome anybody that would like to attend and hear Mark's recounting of the Chattahoochee Riverlands project. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Again, good to see so many of you out here tonight. I've got a couple things I wanted to share. One, I just wanted to express my gratitude to the community for taking the time to participate in the Envision 100 program. We have worked as a council team, as a city staff, diligently to try to connect with the community and find ways that we can, improve our communication, listen, take feedback, and use that to help shape our comprehensive plan. And so I just wanted to thank the community for those of you that participated. The Sugar Hill that we experienced today is a result of previous comprehensive plans, and I know those plans were what attracted my family and I to Sugar Hill. And so I take these very seriously, and I want to again express my gratitude. The second thing is we've got some exciting events coming this month. One of them, Councilmember Thatcher mentioned, but a few others. You may or may not have seen that we are in a community-wide food fight with the city of Suwanee to help support the North Gwinnett Co-op, which is one of our nonprofits that are very near and dear to our heart. We are starting collecting, we could start collecting now, but technically we're starting collection on the 16th, and we are trying to help stock their shelves and provide resources and meals for our community and support a great organization. The other thing is, if you haven't attended a show in the Eagle Theater, we have our very own local children's theater that will have a performance on the 30th of this month. They're doing Finding Nemo Jr. So if you have kids or grandkids or just love live performance, I really encourage you guys to come out and enjoy our beautiful venue and enjoy the hard work that these kids have put in. And then last but not least, and this is kind of a personal update, you may recall back in May, I was able to provide a proclamation for Foster Care Awareness Month. On the 29th of August, after fostering for over 600 days, we were finally able to adopt our youngest son, which we were very excited about, and welcome him officially to our family, although he was always a part of our family. But the reason I wanted to share that is I personally was someone that probably sat on the sidelines way too long supporting foster care. I was, always for it, but I didn't know how to take that first step. And so I just wanted to share, if any of you in the community really have a heart for that or are interested in learning how to get involved, please come up and talk to me afterwards. I would love to be a liaison to help connect you. We've got some great organizations right here in Sugar Hill and in North Gwinnett that do a lot to support these families and these kids, most importantly. And so I just wanted to share that happy update, but then also say, I'd love to see the ripple effect of that as we try to support some of our most important citizens here in the community.
Thanks, Mayor Pro Tem Cohen. Just to piggyback off of Councilman Razzle with the North Gwinnett Co-op and the food fight, I actually have the privilege of also sitting on the board for the co-op. And actually this year is the first year that the co-op have actually had to spend money to go and purchase food. So that's really allowing us to know what a big need that our community is having right now of them providing foods to our local residents. So it's really important if you do have the opportunity to be able to provide, whether it's through this joint venture that the city of Suwanee and Sugar Hill is doing, or if you have the opportunity to go and donate directly to the co-op, I would urge you, humbly ask that you go and do that. Another thing is this Saturday, the BMM, which is Brothers Making Moves, is a program that is starting right here. It's actually within Lanier Middle School. And what the program is actually there's handpicked 20-something seventh graders, boys, that the counselors have handpicked to be a part of this. I wouldn't call it a mentorship, but it's more of a leadership program. And what's going to take place is twice a month. This is also partnered with the city. So BMM has partnered with the city as well as Sugar Hill Church. And so what we're doing is twice a month. They're going to meet right here at the E-Center. And we are partnering with our local schools as well. And so for 2 hours, we're going to teach them. We're going to go through a curriculum of language arts and math, but we're also going to have mentoring sessions for them as well, educating them on this personal life, just life learning tools and things to just help keep them successful. This would be something that we would continue to keep doing through our city, our church, as well as our school. And so this will start this Saturday. So again, if there are any men out here that would be interested in wanting to be a part of that mentoring, really what it looks like, the kids will get there around 8:30 in the morning. We will feed and provide them breakfast. At that point, we will have local people from within the community come and speak to them on various different topics. From that point, they will break off into an hour language art and an hour math tutoring session that will be done by our local cluster of schools. And then they will flip at the top of the hour. At that point, we would then feed them lunch, and then we would send them home to their parents. And so that's a great opportunity for our kids that we're actually identifying some opportunities for them to make sure that we kind of set them off. But again, it's a good opportunity for us as men and us as a community to kind of rally behind them, because again, it takes a village. And so I'm making sure that we equip our kids, again, as I mentioned, with our youth council, but there's also another side of kids that actually, I wouldn't say another side, there are other kids out here that actually needs our support as well. So us as a city, we're supporting that as well. And lastly, as Mayor Pro Tem Cohen mentioned, to this week being Assisted Living Week, I had the opportunity to go and spend some time at the Benton House today. Again, that was something that I felt that out the top, I didn't feel that I had the time to do, right? And again, I just stopped my day and I said, I'm going to go over here and spend some time. I think it was probably the best 2 hours that I've actually spent. And I have tons of things going on, but I think that if we just kind of slow down a bit, take opportunities to go, whether it's through our mentoring program at our local schools, that being the half-hour hero, and go spend 30 hours at our schools, or actually take the time to go to one of our assisted living. I think we have 3 assisted living communities within our assisted living communities right here in Sugar Hill. Just go spend some time with them. I sat and I ate lunch. They had some jerk chicken and plantain and rice and peas, and it was actually it was Jamaican Day. But it was amazing just hearing the stories of these lovely people about where they were raised and where they were born, and just, some of them have gone through World War II and Vietnam War, and it was just amazing just to be able to spend some time with them and just hear their stories and learn about their kids. But every single person that I spoke with was from some other part of the country, and they all now chose and resided right here within our community because their family is within this community and they wanted their loved ones to be close to them. And so really, it's easy for us to not connect those dots from living, sitting in our home and getting kind of go through our busy day. But if we just take 30 minutes, an hour to just go and sit back and do that, I think it would be well worth your time. So thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks. I do not have a slide presentation like Mayor Hembree, so I'll just kind of read through what I've got. So as we talked about a little earlier, today's Patriots Day. Patriots Day was created to honor those who gave and lost their lives on September 11th, 2001. And it's a day that lives very vividly in my memory because 22 years ago today, my wife, my very pregnant wife, and I were about to board a 9 a.m. flight to New York City. And if you know the timeline, you know what 9 a.m. represents. Right before we were boarding, they told us, we're going to delay boarding. There's a little problem. But we didn't know what was going on, so we thought it was a slight delay. And since we had no idea what was happening, we sat there and we sat there and sat there. And when I asked the gate attendant, they said, oh, a plane hit the World Trade Center. So like most people, I was in awe and shock, but I thought it was a biplane. I thought it was a small tourist type plane. We didn't expect it to be what it was. My parents were actually on a flight. They were actually on the plane from O'Hare in Chicago going to New York. So we were very worried about them because nobody could get a hold of them, because 2001, everybody didn't have a cell phone like they do today. My cousin, who lived in New York City, was on the train. She was on the subway going to her office in Queens when they had to shut down the subway, and she was in that group of people who had to walk back across the bridge. We finally got a hold of her and found out she was okay. It was a very emotional day for us. We all have our personal stories, but the long and short of it is, we can never forget. We hope that that was an extremely isolated instance, but there's always things going on in our world, so please never forget. Share that information with your children, because my son, who wasn't even born, for him to see pictures of us at the World Trade Center and at the top of the World Trade Center, it's just mind-blowing to go and say, it's not even in the skyline anymore. And how many buildings in our lifetimes have we seen that are no longer part of the fabric of our community? So keep that in mind. On a happier note, great job to the events team. Anybody who had an opportunity to go to the KT Tunstall concert the other night, on Friday night, was an amazing concert. I never thought you'd get a standing ovation and we'd be cheering for somebody, an opening act who was playing the electric harp. But it was so incredible. So if you didn't have a chance to go, you really missed something. We had an opportunity to see Switchfoot a couple weeks earlier, and before that, the Beach Boys, right here in Sugar Hill. We had these Grammy-winning name acts, so it was something to be proud of. So Avery and your team, congratulations, thank you. We look forward to the rest of the series in the Eagle Theater and for next year's series. As Ms. Thatcher mentioned, the Players Guild put on a great showing of Steel Magnolias. My wife and I had a chance to see it. Blown away. I mean, there was not a dry eye in the house. So if you haven't seen anything by the Players Guild, please look at the schedule, go over to the Eagle Theater. That's what makes community. Sugar Rush is coming up on the 20th, 21st and 22nd of October. It'll open up on the 20th with a concert, a free concert in the bowl. Then we'll have the Arts Festival on Saturday and Sunday, and I'm sure that Avery will talk a little bit about that in her report. The Arts Commission has a meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock across the street in the Art Gallery. It'll be a planning meeting for Sugar Rush, so if you'd like to attend. We've already mentioned the Envision Steering Committee meeting. They've held a number of community input and review sessions that were very well attended, and Mr. Awana is going to talk a little bit about that a little bit later. We talked about the challenge, Sugar Hill versus Suwanee. I mean, why is it even competition? Sugar Hill, hands down. So if you can donate, please donate. The first part of the challenge is breakfast items. The second part of the challenge are personal hygiene items. This is based on number and primarily on weight. So let's get some heavy breakfast foods. Tomorrow, the Broad Street Band has a concert at the Eagle Theater. It's a free concert, I believe. They're doing Dancing Through the Decades. That's 7 p.m. So if you have some free time and you want to run over there, come out. We're also going to recognize some of the people who put the Broad Street Band together. So it should be exciting. And then last but not least, I want to personally thank so many of you for coming out to meetings, events, activities, coming out to our facilities, taking part in activities throughout the city. It's just really great to just be out and about because it is community. It's a sense of community. No matter how big we get, we still have that small town feel, and I think that that's really important. I can't tell you how many times I'm on the Greenway, at the American Legion, at the grocery store, at the Eagle and the Bowl, and I run into new friends and old friends. So when you get together like that, it's just makes you understand why living in the Sweet City is such a great thing. And all the work that we've put in, and you've heard Mr. Rozelle and everybody else talk about that, no matter how big we get, we're still a small community. We're still surrounded by friends, surrounded by people. It's kind of like Cheers, where everybody knows your name. So with that, I will finish, and I will turn it over to the city clerk. Ms. Whittington.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. The city customer service department issued 135 passports last month and 10 new business licenses. Visit the city's website to make an appointment or to get the paperwork for any of these items. We also have some job opportunities listed on the website as well, along with employment application if you're interested. And the city has an election November 7th, a general and a special election with 3 homestead exemption items to be voted on in the special election and 3 council member posts to be voted in the general election. Early voting will start on October 16th and run through November 3rd. It'll be right here in City Hall in the community room downstairs from 9 to 5 every day, excluding Sundays. We will not be there on Sundays. We will be there on Sugar Rush on Saturdays. And there is no voting on November 6th, that Monday. So all voting is held here in City Hall. The general election is up here in the council chambers. And the last day to register to vote in that election is October the 10th. And if you have any questions, just visit the city's website or send me an email or a call. Be happy to answer any of your questions regarding any of these items. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. And our city manager, Mr. Radford.
I want to submit to you the monthly report. I don't need to read it to you, but I want to again extend my thanks to Victoria and her staff for their hard work in capturing a monthly essence of the city, give you a snapshot of what's happened and a look forward with what's going to happen. We're a very busy city with a lot of opportunities to get involved and to see first-class entertainment and visit first-class facilities for your recreation. I want to also, if you would indulge me, to say goodbye to, temporarily say goodbye to one of our part-time employees who has been working in our economic development department this spring and summer, a former youth council member, she worked in our event staff and she's been working with economic development, and that's Maya Lawrence. Maya will be returning to, she's a Sugar Hill, obviously Sugar Hill resident. She'll be returning to London to continue her education in international studies. Is that right? Is that close enough? International studies, so she can come back and take my job. We've been blessed to have her. She's been a part of our creative team, and we're blessed to have people like her who got their start with great parenting, but also working through our youth council. And again, I want to extend my thanks to Victoria. And then Avery, I'm going to ask you to come up briefly to give us an update on the events, and then I'll ask Troy to speak second, right after you. So I know you're probably tired from a very hectic weekend, but thank you.
Hello. So in August, we finished the Switchfoot and Beach Boys concert, as Mark mentioned. We had several different rentals and community events, the All Pro Dads Linear Cluster event. The Historic Preservation Society had Robert Coughlin come to speak. We had music at Sugar Hill, yoga in the bowl, all of those things. This past weekend, the Players Guild did finish their run of Steel Magnolias with a sold-out performance on Sunday. Not looking ahead. Also on Friday, we had the KT Tunstall concert, which finalized our 2023 Bowl concert series, apart from the free concert that will be attached to Sugar Rush. Okay. Broad Street Concert Band is tomorrow evening. The later in the week or in the month, we'll have Wayne Hill come as the historic preservation speaker. On the stage, Children's Theater will be doing Finding Nemo, and then we have sold out the Corinne Bailey Ray Show, so that is happening the 22nd of September, and will take place in conjunction with the Black Artist Showcase in the gallery. So there will be some food trucks that they've coordinated and stuff set up across from the theater, so we'll have both of those events running at the same time. And then also, as mentioned, the Sweet City Night will be taking place in conjunction with Story Walk. So Story Walk will be happening in downtown, which is our linear cluster. We are anticipating somewhere around 500 people in the downtown area that day for that specifically, in addition to anybody who comes to attend Sweet City Night. The high school will be doing their homecoming parade on the 19th with a rain schedule for the 20th in case we get rained out again. And then we're looking at October. So we've got Jeff Allen's comedy tour is coming on the 7th. And then it's Sugar Rush, which Hattie and Cam have been very, very hard at work at. My plan is to give you more details at the next council meeting and work session, but for now it's concert and then 10 to 6 on Saturday and 12 to 5 on Sunday. Any questions? Cool.
Very busy downtown.
Thank you. There are a number of items in the management report I'll call your attention to. It's more exhaustive in nature. I want to highlight a few of the projects that we've talked about over the last several months that have been under construction this summer and show you some updated photographs from our meeting last week. And one that is in our downtown campus at the east end of the amenity pond is what we are designating the landing. And the landing is our way of recognizing the load-in ramp for our downtown concert venue. And it's also a way for us to recognize the water feature that it serves. And I am talking and doing this at the same time, so I appreciate your indulgence. There is one of the latest photographs of the landing, which has 50-some surface parking spaces available. It serves as a load-in ramp for our concert venue and will provide some vendor spaces for potentially downtown farmers market and other ways to activate that end of the downtown. So I call it our downtown campus, and I might be the only person that refers to it that way, but it's our way of recognizing from a facilities standpoint and an investment standpoint is that these are all public facilities that benefit the public at large. So it's community gathering, and it creates community and a sense of togetherness. So that's the intent behind this. It did have some stormwater benefit, and it's one of the things that we used our ARPA money to fund. And you'll see a very small portion of the photograph that highlights that. And there is a pretty robust structure underground here that you don't get to see very much of, but it serves a very valuable function in keeping the stage and other parts of the pond from flooding. So that was the large stormwater component. This is just basically icing on the cake. A couple other images of that same downtown facility shows some pervious paver parking, and then we got some hardscape mixed with artificial turf to provide some green space for those areas. Switching gears to the Ridge Lake Park project, which is another parks project between Sugar Ridge and, I was corrected on the pronunciation. Even though my last name is French, I can't pronounce it. So the neighborhood that many of you know as Arbor Claus. I just butchered that like you might expect. But this is one of the latest park investments and is our way of recognizing the ridge that runs in this area and separates from a stormwater and drainage standpoint different parts of the city. It's also our way to address some of the passive park needs for that part of the city. And we did go through a very robust public involvement plan when we started planning for this project, and so you'll see some of the elements of that and how we activate it in the future with a dog park, with a pavilion, restroom, walking trails, and 2 ponds that we had to spend some money reconstructing. We have provided an initial run at landscaping, and we're adding some shade trees to the dog park and some additional screening material with some of the neighbors to the west. Another view of what that looks like from the entrance on Highway 20, and then another view of the dog park. We are wrapping up construction on that over the next 4 to 6 weeks, and then we'll be able to schedule a grand opening here this fall. One other road project that I mentioned last week is the Alton Tucker Boulevard realignment. Hasn't really gotten started yet, but you saw some of the early earthwork efforts on that project in one of the earlier photos, so I won't mention that. I will say that I wanted to thank the council and others that had to probably hear some complaints about the downtown paving, but it was our only way to tackle a very heavily used and traveled roadway was to do some night paving, and that's largely what you saw the last week and the last 2 weeks, actually. One of the tougher parts of this was navigating the roundabout, and we'll be working on that in future phases of streetscape upgrades as well. But you see that, and then Church Street was one of the last streets paved in addition to that. That was our 2-year cycle for that, and I believe the contract was $993,000, so a little less than $1 million got us over 20 roads resurfaced and repaired, including a few extra here and there that took on. So that contract will be wrapping up. You'll probably see some additional paving in the downtown that will be taken on by our private sector development partners like Solis and Skyview Townhomes. And with that, I'm going to ask Andy to go ahead and come up and update a few other parks and recreation activities and programs and facilities.
Thank you, Mr. Pasesh. Good evening, everyone. Coming into September from a very, very hot August, recreation is picking up, ramps up once school starts again. So you'll notice the parks, the E-Center are very crowded every day, on the weekends especially, and the golf course remains to be crowded. The splash pad continues to go throughout September. We will then start to shut down towards the beginning of October, where we'll start to get into our winter time activities, which the tent for the ice rink will go up mid-October before Sugar Rush. And then as soon as Sugar Rush is over, you'll start to see the ice rink start to be built. In turn, we will turn downtown into a holiday festival right after Halloween. And going into the Thanksgiving and the holiday celebration time, we will be festive in our downtown area once again this year. The golf course had another great month. The temperatures were absolutely excruciating. However, that did not stop people from playing golf. And the course is in incredible shape, with a couple of small projects still have to be finished before the end of the year, but I think we're going to finish strong out at the golf course as well. So unless there's any questions, I want to say thank you and have a good night. Thanks.
And thank you, Andy, and thank you to you and your staff for the stewardship of all of our assets. I know we're all pleased to see the golf course performing like it is. It's one of those strange things that happens post-COVID, where golf was projected to be going down, and which would have worsened our bottom line even more. But it has, because of our investments, and I think our continued hard work in terms of presenting a good product, we have rebounded dramatically, stayed up there, and the course is covering itself, which is fantastic. With that, I'd ask Kaipo to come up and just to give us sort of a wrap-up of the where we are on Envision 100. You'll hear more about it in October and going forward, but once again, I want to commend he and his staff for their fantastic work in terms of leading the effort of engaging the community in our future planning efforts. So, Kaipo?
So planning team's taken some deep breaths after wrapping up the bulk of our public involvement program last month. We've celebrating the fact that we got over 800 survey responses from May to August, 44 participants in the 9 community roundtable meetings at different days and different times for 2 weeks in mid-August. We had 41 attend one of the 4 open house meetings, again at different locations and different times during that last week of August. And on top of what we'd been doing from the start with our email and social media campaigns, flyers, yard signs, banners, postcards, pop-up events, we added roadside banners to promote those open house meetings. And now that school's in session, we were able to coordinate with the schools to send home announcements in the Friday take-home folders at the elementary schools, and have made a concerted effort throughout to push the information out in English and Spanish. Just what's kind of coming up next is later this month, we're working with Lanier Cluster Schools to organize a youth leadership event here at City Hall on the 26th and 27th. Number of elementary school, middle school, and high school leaders are going to come take some time to tour the area and participate in one of the activities that we've conducted for the plan. Right now, we're working to diligently to put together the analysis from the public input and the research part. And we're working on drafting that plan, still maintaining a focus on the green space and mobility and housing elements that we've kind of centered those themes around the plan process, and planning a major presentation of the draft in October.
All right, thank you, Kaipo. And that, Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Radford. Riley, did you have anything else that you wanted to add, or anybody on your team for a youth council update?
Yes.
Riley left, okay.
Come on up.
So let's get the Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, come on up. Actually, all of y'all come up. 3 of you as well. Come on.
Good
Chloe.
evening, guys. I'm the Secretary of the Sugar Hill Youth Council. My name is Madison Jingra.
Hi, guys. My name is Skylar McLeod. I am the Youth Council Mayor Pro Tem.
Hello, I'm Doberman Ilif. I'm a Youth Council member.
My name is Noah Fox. I am now a Youth Council member.
Hi, I'm Chloe Moore. I'm also a Youth Council member.
I'm Lee Ron Yoon and a new Youth Council member.
Just to give an update on us, we are very, very excited that we have officially sworn in so we can actually get this group started. We have lots planned for this year, and we are very excited for the programs we're actually going to implement in our city to empower our youth. We're going to focus on that this year. We have plans to connect with BWASH and the Women's Club to provide products for the youth and stuff and things like that. And we have our first meeting next month, and we are very excited for that, and we can't wait to update you guys. And I just wanted to thank you guys for this opportunity to actually have this club. Just being on this 3rd year on the council, I am just so blessed that I actually have taken so much from this program. I've learned so much, so I just wanted to thank you guys. Especially.
I'm actually going to second Skylar on that. I want to thank all of our advisors for all the time and energy that they give our council. And I also want to congratulate our new youth. It's going to be a really awesome year, and this is a really amazing group. So, yeah, I can't wait. Thank you.
All right. Any of you newly elected want to say anything? Hey, I'll do this every month, so I'm always going to call you out, so you might as well get used to it. There you go.
So it's the first one here. Lee Ron Yoon. Once again, I want to thank you guys, especially Mr. Hicks. During the interviews, really prepped us. So it's just an amazing opportunity. I'm excited to see what it's about, to see how to improve the city. especially Sugar Hill turning 100 years old, 2039. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to. Once again, thank you all. Thank you for the parents to come out and support. And yeah, I'm excited. Thank you.
Awesome. Anyone else? Chloe? We didn't forget your name. I didn't forget your name this time. Let's go.
Yeah, I would say I'm really honored. I'm really, really excited to start working and like really impacting our city. I think this is going to be, I'm really excited.
Awesome. Great job. Good job. Noah? Are you all good? Dobermere?
Yeah, I'm really excited for you, Council. There's going to be a lot of great.
Awesome. While I was at Benton House today, one of the residents there said, you know, I introduced myself, and she was like, oh, you're Alvin Hicks. She said, you know, and so shortly after that, this lady comes rushing in the door, and it was her daughter. So she called her daughter. Her daughter came to me and was like, hey, I seen that you had the youth council in D.C. last year that spoke with our senators and our congressmen. And I have a project that has been on my heart that I would love to work with you and the youth council on as it relates to, you know, the tragic school shootings that we've had. And so I know that was something that it was near and dear to y'all when you guys spoke with our congressmen and our senators. And so she's seen that. This was a lady I'd never met before in my life, and her mom just so happened to introduce us while I was at Benton House. So definitely I will be setting some time up with you and her, and so looking forward to that. So you know, you guys are making an impact, even though we don't see it. There, that you guys are doing that. So I'm super proud and looking forward to this upcoming year. So great job.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks. Thank you, members of the Youth Council. Put in the time, take as much out of it as you can possibly get. This will be a life-changing experience and something you'll carry with the rest of your life. So congratulations again, and we're looking forward to great things. Okay, now we're at the part of the agenda for citizens and guest comments. We'll allow up to 3 minutes for anybody to come up and talk about anything that they want to talk about for up to 3 minutes. Do we have anybody who's going to speak tonight? Going once, going twice, gone. Okay. We have no consent agenda. We have no old business. We have no new business. So with that, can I get I believe we do have executive session, a need for executive session. Can I get a motion to adjourn to executive session for legal, real estate, and/or personnel matters?
Motion to adjourn to executive session to cover legal, real estate, and personnel matters.
Okay, we have a motion from Ms. Thatcher. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Rozelle. All in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous, motion carries. All right. So you guys are all welcome to leave, or you're welcome to stay. We'll go to executive. All right, we have no action to take out of executive session. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion from Mr. Rozelle, second from Mr. Hicks. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous.
Safe travels, man.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
When's your flight, Paul?
11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, that's not bad. It's a good time to fly.